Hey there, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father. And I'm recording this with a different program, so I apologize if things are a little wonky at first. I'm going to try and see if recording on a different program gets rid of the stupid sounds you may have heard. So like, it's very annoying. So I'm going to try and see if this is good, if recording with this will make it go away. If so, I may have found a new recording software. So let's get on with the rest of the game. And one of the things we want to do is look at the switch.
It's an electrical switch.
It's an electrical switch. So let's go ahead and flip that switch. Flip that switch, bitch. Do it.
What does this do?
Turn that thing off.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah,
We
my
have
bad.
air conditioning, you see.
Yeah, I see.
Now, if you can see, the snake went all crazy. We may need to know that for later. But we need to talk to Dr. Hyun.
Dr. John is a huge man. If his manner weren't so pleasant, he'd be intimidating.
He is a big dude. He's big, yeah. Big, yeah. Let's go ahead and talk to him, see how friendly he is.
Can I ask you a few questions?
That is why I am here.
Well, I mean, that's true. But can I ask you a few questions? Wow, you look like you want to smash my face into a wall, or you look really, really bored. One of the two. But let's go ahead and ask about voodoo.
What can you tell me about
Voodoo.
Historical voodoo. Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city.
Well, let's just go ahead and do historical voodoo. Just throw that
Tell
one
me
at me.
about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds
Long time ago,
As
in a
we know,
galaxy far,
voodoo
far
is
away.
a grassroots religion, formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade. But African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively.
So voodoo had to breed
The Creole also
unnatively.
knew enough about the corrupted
Look at the
pagan
voodoo in its
practices
natural
of the
habitat.
West Indies slaves to ban the importings of slaves from that region.
Alright, tell me more. I am so interested still.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian Revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
Well, okay, so how did it get here?
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain.
Pontchartrain.
The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Oh god, more zombies? No! We need to go get a shotgun! Or Call of Duty, you know, zombies, whatever. That guy in the the little drum over there is just going to town. And then he looks at me like, what am I doing with my... No, go back to drumming.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons, and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances, right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Well, that's not creepy. If they had a staring contest, I wonder which one would win. He would win. He would win. Oh, they both blinked at the same time. There's a tie, that one. Yep, he won. He won. You guys are bad at... Oh, he won. He won. They're bad at this.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Oh, wow, okay. We got there. Sweet.
Tell me about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaux, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Hint, hint. I wonder if we're going to go there. So now, let's learn about some current voodoo, because, I mean, we need to know about the past. Let's learn about the present one, where they use iPads, and, well, this was in the 90s, so they used rotary telephones, and those big, thick-ass cell phones that you could actually beat someone to death with. You know.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree.
Gree-gree.
That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in the religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I personally am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo, but it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Bring ding, bring ding. Then we're going to ask some about hoodoo, because why not? And then we'll learn some more stuff. But we need to know all the good stuff first.
What exactly is hoodoo?
It's
Hoodoo refers
you hoodoo,
to
you
magic
voodoo,
folk
bitch.
traditions of the South. Hoodoo is a bastard of voodoo. Many of the gree-gree are similar, but hoodoo does not have the religious aspects of voodoo.
So, gree-gree sounds like it's something that you gleek on people. Gleek. It's like, oh, my face. Dude, say it, don't spray it. Gree-gree. Ugh, you're like a fire hydrant that's been busted. It's all over my face.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper. I know they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
Okay, well, that was easy.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States, as far as I am concerned.
No, there's more cities in the United States. Sorry to tell you that, but it's true.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum snake, Mr. Knight? They are beautiful creatures, Do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Ah, well, that's interesting.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, you.
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
What is your bra and penis size?
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
He gets wrinkles on his head when he talks. Watch.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Look, see, look. Right there.
Let us just say
Nope,
I
that's
cut
the way.
my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No, the museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
That's not nice. That is not nice at all. Just tell me anything at all.
Just tell me anything.
Oh, never mind. He's not
I
Creeper
am
this
originally
time.
from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
The voodoo.
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Just tell me anything.
I am a vegetarian.
I am not.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
I bet he means that in more
That
than
must
one
be
way.
the hunter in you, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I am not an easy person to get to know. I am a very private man.
Isn't that unusual for someone in the museum business?
Not at all. My displays speak for me.
Just tell me anything.
Not everyone can come see the museum, so I occasionally do public speaking on the subject of historical voodoo.
Anything coming up that I might attend?
We're going to Comic-Con.
But then you have me all to yourself right now, do you not?
Actually, I can't think of a thing.
Then let us discuss something else.
Let us discuss something. I would let him read me a bedtime story every night.
So how's the museum business?
Those who truly seek to understand are few, Mr. Knight. But even one can be an audience.
Sounds about like my shop. So where do you pick up all this stuff?
Oh, here and there. We accept donations of any pertinent items.
Yes, I have this stuffed, beaked, feathered thing that was born in a ritual. And also this whip that I use to beat my gimpy lover, Dave. So, do you want him?
Do you ever get any wackos in here?
You mean, besides yourself?
Oh, he got you there. That was a ribbon.
Yeah, besides me.
I do not care to make those kinds of judgments, Mr. Knight. All are welcome here.
You're a big guy, aren't you? You work out, play sports?
I do not play basketball. If that is what you want to know.
That's terrible.
No, you just
Wow.
look like such a natural athlete.
I do find ways of keeping fit, Mr. Knight. After all, our bodies are temples.
Mine's a temple of fat and donuts.
You sound like Grace. I should get the two of you together.
Is Grace your wife?
No, she just acts like it.
Nah,
So what do you think of our summer weather? Have you ever seen it so overcast or so muggy?
It is unpleasant. The heavens are not pleased these days.
Nice outfit.
I prefer simple cotton to dead flesh, Mr. Knight.
I'll have to remember that.
the touch, the feel of dead flesh, the fabric of our lives.
This is quite a place you have here.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. I have dedicated myself to the preservation of this unique culture. It is gratifying to see others reap the fruits I have sown.
Right, yeah. Wait, did we finish? We finished! Everything! Yay! Why didn't I get the achievement I was supposed to get? Hey, buddy!
Do you know this woman?
Magentia Moonbeam, yes. She is a local voodooian. There are many of them in New Orleans. They often do business selling gris-gris, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. I often refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to her.
Yeah, okay.
Given demand.
I did not mean to hit that one.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find out...
Yeah, okay. There was supposed to be a... Oh. I was supposed to get an achievement, but I didn't.
What makes you think the voodoo murders aren't being done by local practitioners?
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight. Especially in New Orleans. Anyone can pretend to use it. Just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate. And for the same reason. To intimidate. I know voodoo in this city, Mr. Knight. And believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
Local voodoo.
So you know nothing about the voodoo murders case?
I neither know nor care to know, Mr. Knight. My only possible interest is in how it might affect the public's attitude towards the museum.
Whoa, his eyes just went way over
So
there in
far,
the
it has
corner.
not been an issue.
What?
No one has even had the bad taste to bring it up. Until you, that is.
What is it about New Orleans that you so
What is it
admire?
about Nolans that you
It
admire?
has a real culture of its own, Mr. Knight. Amid the horrid blandness that is Americana, New Orleans alone has a voice.
Spoken like a true Norlinian.
Yay!
Is this snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight. But snakes, like the museums, can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
Oh, he told you. He told you good.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight. Look around the museum if you desire more information.
More information.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
When the widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooians in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans. The widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was not above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
Dun dun
You
dun.
sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However she achieved it.
Power! Undeniable power!
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
I don't know anything else.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She took herself seriously, very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money. That is for certain. But if she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius, rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living.
Unlike me, who can't even sell a book. Books are hard to sell.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
It was Marie Laveau who defined the voodoo that is truly and uniquely the voodoo of New Orleans. She invented hundreds, if not thousands, of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of hoodoo.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when Widow Paris got old. Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view. The Widow Paris died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the Widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
Huh. Oh, yes, we got the achievement. Voodoo Studies 101. Good, I can leave now. Thank you. Thankfully. So, no, I want to go to the door. No. So
Goodbye,
let's go
Dr.
ahead and
John.
get out of here.
Carefully
And
out
let's
there,
go explore
Mr.
another
Knight.
place that we've been told that we can go to get information about voodoo, which is the Dixieland Drugstore. This not at all will be weird. This is weird.
Hello.
Oh. Yeah.
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Bienvenue, Madame Casano. Comment ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker. I'm certain someone's buried a sleep knot bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink, not in weeks.
Now, don't that beat all. I'll need some easy night candles then, huh?
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosary good, sure enough, but you buying them candles too, boy, you gonna whip any no-sleep gree-gree, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them around to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know. Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dame. I've been in misery.
Now, you put 9 pinheads up in the little box. Add a pinch of graveyard dust, put it up under her front post step. That'll turn the trick back on Miss Lefebvre, and she be the one with the bellyache. I got the pins of dust right here if you want them.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame. Though, don't hurt to be proactive neither now, does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It's nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
So she's a crazy bit, and he is a guy that likes to swindle money from people. Good thing we know where everybody's standing right now. So what do we have? We have a lot of things to look at. Tons of things to look at.
Dried herbs hang from the ceiling.
Those are gree-gree. They full of magic. No guarantee, though. You know?
They're full of magic that may or may not work.
The mask appears to be made from a real crocodile head.
That's not weird at all.
The poster advertises a voodoo play from last fall.
It's called the Voodoo Play from last fall.
The Dixieland Drugstore is crammed from top to bottom with strange merchandise, some or all of which seem to be related to the practice of voodoo.
Voodoo! Voodoo! Okay, here. Yeah, okay, that was weird.
The entire shelf is stocked with containers of High John the Conqueror root powder.
That's not weird.
Garlic, cloves, and other dried goods and spices are collected in the bowls.
I know where to come if I ever have a vampire problem.
The sign says, Special St. John's Eve Lagnia. Free bottle of Lover Come Back to Me oil, or Master Gambling oil with every purchase over $50.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
A little something extra. Because that's not weird at all.
Lodestone powder.
So does that mean if you go and find a
five-finger
prostitute and they give you that
Something
word
tells
that
me
they
I'm
know
not
you know
in
you're getting
Kansas
a
anymore.
little something extra? You're getting a little log nop. Alright, One-Eyed Willie. Go ahead and tell me what you know.
Hi there. Is this your store?
This the Dixieland drugstore. And I own it. Me. Name's Walker. Willie Walker.
The fro. The fro is real, dog. Okay.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
The only one left is Willie Jr. over there. The old crocodile.
Please stop
He's sort
naming
of a
everything after you.
mascot now, him.
I don't want to know about your One-Eyed Willie.
That customer of yours, the little old lady.
Customer?
The woman I saw in here, Madame Casino, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
She's available, though.
It's important that I talk to Madame Casino. You see, I'm doing some research, and
I can't tell you anything about her.
Unless you spend $50 million.
can you tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Do you think I'm stupid? This is a voodoo shop. Look at all this stuff.
These is novelties, curiosities. If people want to think they magic, it's not my concern, you know?
You're an ass.
Are you telling me that you own a voodoo shop, but you know nothing about voodoo practices?
Ça n'est pas ça faire blanc.
What does that mean?
It means you should mind your own business, monsieur.
What are you gonna do? You gonna voodoo me? Oh, you're just gonna prove my point? You wanna fight, mate? Let's go to PAX.
Look, I'm researching voodoo for a book.
I don't have your answers, me. You want to buy something, monsieur?
No, I don't.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Caprice encore.
What did you say?
Nothing. Them killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
Cabri Sandcore. I wonder what that means. Let's find out. Now let's finish asking about other things.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
People get naked, they dance in the streets, they flop their willies everywhere. You know, it's usual stuff.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons, boas, so I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
What about these 16-inch pythons or whatever it is, brother? Mwah, mwah. That was kissing the pythons. You know, as they do.
What do you think of New Orleans?
I live here all my life, me.
Well, that's nice.
What do you think of New Orleans?
If you're not from around here, monsieur, you should sign up for some tours.
Okay.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
Marie, she's somebody from the old days. One of them old folk tales. The tourists eat it up, no?
I guess so.
What else do you know about Marie Laveau?
I don't know much, monsieur. Someone at the Voodoo Museum can tell you all about her.
Bling, ding, bling, bling. Alright. So that's about Willie Jr.
About Willie Jr. Would you be willing to let him go?
Maybe. For $100.
100? You gotta be kidding.
Me and Willie Jr. are very close now. I couldn't part with him for less.
Well, the hell, he's not that expensive.
What did you mean when you said Caprice encore?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Bling, ding, bling, ding.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
How did you get into this kind of business?
Now, why should I discuss my business with you, man?
something tells me we're not going to get much out of him. So, we will just exit the conversation. And next time, friends, when we come back, we will figure out where to go next, what we're doing, what's going to happen. Things are going to go down. There's a no stealing sign.
The Dixieland drugstore has a rather terrifying way of dealing with shoplifters.
Oh. Steal from us and the police won't be the only thing on your trail. That is a little threatening. But next time, friends, we'll see what we're doing. Hey, and there's one of those voodoo posters that we saw in the other place. But until next time, friends, you all take care. And of course, have a good one.